Hi, welcome everyone. It's good to see you in a physical environment, I would say. So we have a lot of things to see today. We have a day where we have some workshops, some presentations, Q&A, ask me anything. So we'll do a lot of things. The idea is that we have a lot of new team leaders, or young team leaders, I would say, at Odoo, as we grew very quickly over the past years. And so we'll do our best to try to teach you something. So you probably already know a lot because obviously the way we operate is very efficient. But if from what we say, 10 to 20% of what we say is a good idea for you, then we'll have a successful day. All right. So before we start, let's go very quickly through the new features of the R&D. If I put Okay, so that's a very quick overview of what's coming in for the Odoo 16. First, the top priorities, because we always talk about the new features, but what really matters for this new release is code cleanup and performance. We want the software to be snappy, super fast, to the point where you will feel it. We work a lot on accounting localizations, user experience, as usual. Every year we bring the barrier higher on the easiness, making it simple for the user or for the setup. And after, and only after, the new feature. So our priorities are really in this order. For the performance, every year we say Odoo is super fast and much faster than before and so on. But this time it's going to be true. So I hope. So the thing is, over the past, we always worked on the performance, but it was always one component. So in version 13, it was the Python framework, and then we had all for some components of the JavaScript, and then we had some improvement in the website builder. But it was always one or two areas in the software. For this version, we work in all the areas from infrastructure, like HTTP2 or moving servers from Google Cloud to OVH because OVH is 30% faster, to the Python framework, the website layer, the backend layers, up to the JavaScript framework with all2 and CSS and HTML. Just in CSS, to give you an idea, the team already, for what they refactor, they reduced by 80% the volume of CSS rules. So it's massive. And if we do that on every component in the layers, then it's going to be really, really fast to the point where the user will perceive it. So it's matter of user experience too. It's going from 250 milliseconds for a controller to 50 milliseconds. It doesn't seem like a big difference, but when you use it and when you feel it, it's really a big difference. It's also about scalability, being able to operate larger systems. So I said the second thing is the localization. I won't go into the details, but that just give you an idea. The idea is that we tripled the size of the developer team who under the localization. So that's only the things we are working on currently, but up to the version 16, there will be way more than that. And then there are the new features. As I said, the new features are not the top priority, but still it's what people see, so it's still important to say what's coming in. But the majority of the people are working on performance, refactoring what we already have, rather than these new features. Even though maybe 30-40% of the developers work on new features, we still have some of the things to launch. One that I really like is the knowledge application. It's kind of a wiki or Notion for the ones who know Notion or Confluence. So it's a knowledge base where you can create articles and link them together and structure them with that you can share with different departments or friends. They are private. You can search through that. And the thing which is cool, except the fact that it's going to be a clone of Notion, which is already cool in itself, is that it's going to be totally integrated with the rest of the software. So imagine you are in the CRM, in a business opportunity. You search, you are making a quote for Odoo SH, for instance. And then you have, in one click on the search, you have all the knowledge documents that explain you how to do a quote for Odoo SH. Like, you need to count one worker per 25 users, or one worker for 1,000 visitors, and you have to do this, and the whole procedure on how to create the quote. And it's the same for tasks and so on. And then you click on a procedure, how to make a quote for Odoo SH, and from there you will have, like you see here, templates of documents, like templates of email and template of description for the task, and one click, it goes back to the sale order, and you have a template of your email ready to be sent. So the knowledge is fully integrated with all other applications, which makes it more useful. The new website builder. If you upload on everything, then it's going to take a long time. So I'm just telling that for you. Website, so we merged the backend and the front end. So now if you click on the website icon, you get to the website with a top bar. And you see that the backend switching to the orders and the products are the same. In the user test we did, a lot of people were confused between the backend and the front end, having different interface to switch from one to the other. So now we have only one interface. It's backend and front end merged. And when you click on it, all the things you had in Customize, you had a lot of checkbox, and most people didn't know that, how to activate features, are now in the edit. So when you see on the my left, so it's your right, the right sidebar, you have all the options to customize the page, which is contextual to the page you are in. So let's say you click on categories, and you get categories here. And there is no reloads of page, because now we have an iframe and we only reload the content and not the top bar and the backend and so on. So it's faster than before also. So you'll have way more controls on the elements, as you can see in the top right bar, for the website. And then we refactor a lot of the features of Odoo, like coupon and promotion. Before we had coupon, promotion, gift card, loyalty points. We didn't have e-wallet. And the feature we had were sometimes working in post, sometimes in e-commerce, and sometimes working in the backend. But it was kind of a mess because it was different things, and not all the use cases were working, and we didn't know which feature to use to support which use case. Like, if I tell you, how do you handle 2 + 1 free? Is it a coupon? Is it a promotion? Is it a gift card? Is it loyalty points? It's very hard to say with the old system. In the new system, we unified everything in a single platform. That also means that it works on pretty much everything, point of sale, e-commerce, and backend. It's also much cleaner. There is less lines of code because it's only one concept rather than having different concepts. We also, in the past, for the ones that are old in Odoo, we had a lot of way to invoice documents. Like we were able to invoice from timesheet, from subscription, from delivery orders, and then we merged everything into sales order. And then we could create invoice based on sales order for pretty much everything, whether it's renting, subscription, except for subscription. And so now we are merging subscription in the new version will become sales order too. So we merged, and that will allow several things like having different lines with different periodicity, like monthly and yearly lines in the same sale order. It simplifies the code too. Chatbot, we have a chatbot. Imagine you are on odoo.com/jobs. You have like 20 jobs between business advisor, business analyst, business, I don't know, nobody understand all these jobs. Now you can ask the chatbot what it is. And it's a decision tree. It's not artificial intelligence, it's just a question with a multiple answer, and based on the answer we propose other alternative. And then there are actions like take a meeting, chat with a human, or take a meeting with someone. So it's connected with the main actions, create a lead that you have in Odoo, or ask for the name and the email and so on. All right, that's for the main improvements. So let's go on the smaller ones. We have a new bank reconciliation widget where you have all the entries on the left, closer to what you have in your bank, and the reconciliation screen on the right. Better management of the multi-currencies, accounting import, which is simplified. Now we really have a tool that guides you, because most of the people were lost about how to import and start with your database. Like, I have a QuickBook files, how do I start? Where do I import? First I have to install a module. Once I have installed a module, I have to find the menu. Now all the ways to import your accounting to start with are in the same screen. New journal audit reports, new way to handle assets like cancellation, accurate computation and so on, so way more advanced assets. Credit limits, it's more for information than blocking on the sale order and the invoice. OCA for customer invoice, we did it for vendor bills, but for fiduciary accounting firms, they need it for customer invoices too. Intrastat report improved, various improvement in invoicing, whether it's Factorix or Extrungrunch in Germany, PayPal, Finvoice, and so on. We support way more e-invoicing mechanisms than before. Pretty much all of them we face regularly. Now we also have the VAT validation in the e-commerce. That's what's for no, for appointments. We have redesigned everything, so it's much cleaner than before. You can even like, let's say you have a dentist or dental care office, then you can even select who you want to meet with and things like that. The design of the calendar is much better. We improved email marketing. Uh, Basically, we refactored and improved everything about the HTML editor, so it's long to explain. New templates of email, improvement in social network like retweets and quotes, tweets. Inventory, now we can force a backorder because we had a lot of people who did some shipment and the worker didn't know what to answer to the pop-up that says, do you want a backorder, yes or no? I mean, it's not their role to choose, and usually you do always backorder on ever, but you don't let the worker choose. So now you have an option if you want to automate it all the time. We improve the shipping methods, especially for where you have a point of point d'enlèvement, point of grabbing your goods. Also local shipping with zip codes. If you do local business and you want to ship your neighborhood, so we improve the shipping method for this. Automated batches that are created automatically based on the operation type. So we can group, let's say, all the shipper by contract, by carriers, and we create batch for everything related to bpost on Monday for this kind of customer. We create a batch so that the batch are the tasks we give to the different workers. Improvement in report for GS1, replenishment visibility days. So you control better how much time in advance you want to create the replenishment. It depends on your manufacturing life cycle and things like that. I'm going fast, huh? There are a lot, as you can see. Scan package. Now you can scan from package. If you want to move a box, just scan the box, move it. Pick and count if you want to do inventory adjustment and ask an inventory adjustment while they pick. So that's very useful because you are picking the product, pick the product, and you say, hey, only 2 is remaining. Can you check and verify? Okay, it's good. And it's good for the inventaire tournant round inventory. I don't know. For scan, so now we have a better workflow where you can configure the workflow of all the operations, so that the worker is much easier. We tell him, now you take the box, now you pack it, ship it, and so on, and you have the whole workflow and everything you should scan. Scan the box, scan the law, and then scan the packaging unit. And it's much easier than having something where you can scan pretty much anything at any time. Purchase, we improved the call for tenders. For now, it was a complex workflow when you had to configure per product. Do you want to create a call for tenders or RFQ? And most of the time, you don't know. It depends on the situation, the context, or your system is not configured the way you want it. So now you can decide to create a call for tender from the RFQ, and call for tenders are managed the same way we manage A/B testing campaigns in mass mailing. So it's a tab where you can have the list of different RFQs for a single purchase, which is much easier than having a different workflow. Technically, it's much easier, but it's also much easier for the user, depending on the products. Now you can trigger on demand. Improvement with receipt and delivery status in purchase and sales order. Improved shipping connector, including insurance for UPS, FedEx, DHL, and EasyPost, and other little details. We have new things for commercial invoice, like the country of origin for some countries, and so in e-invoicing it's important. A new way to choose the pickup location when you deliver by UPS, FedEx, point d'enlèvement. HR. We have new in e-sign. Now you can refuse to sign a contract. You have greenwashing statistics about the water you save by using e-sign. I discovered that yesterday, actually. You can change the role of a person, so you can say, okay, someone else will sign for me. Improvement in time off, days that people cannot take a time off. Improvement in the way we display it in the dashboards. We move on. Some improvement in the design of approvals. Now you can decide the order and the sequence of approval. Now you have analysis and dashboard on the skills on all the employees. If you want to do, for large companies, if they want to do statistics on how many Python developers I have, and if I need 3 JavaScript developers, do they have it in my company? It's for the companies that don't know the employees. That's probably something we won't use. Now you can have a signature request as part of the onboarding and offboarding plan. That's very useful for the car policy. You recruit an employee, you have to sign the car policy, so you automate the fact that he has to sign the car policy. Split and merge manufacturing order, allocation report like we did for the purchase order. When you for the reception, when we receive it, tell you, this is useful for this. We developed that for Connect Plus. Now we did it for the manufacturing. Improvement in the subcontracting portal, so that the supplier can register the production for you. That's super cool. Yeah, the picture is super ugly, but the feature is cool when it's going to be developed. So what we have with the Work Center control panel is very good. I mean, there is a worksheet, and the worker can follow the worksheet and so on. But the thing is, only a very few percentage of our customer uses it, because it's too complex and most of them don't have worksheet. It takes time to create all the worksheet and set up your routings so that you can have this Work Center control panel in your work centers. Now we will do something, and it's very useful also for engineering to orders, where they can build a worksheet as they do the manufacturing. So the worker can they assemble something, they take the tablet, they say, I will add a step, take a picture, a photo of what they are doing, and then they can build the worksheet as they manufacture the first prototype or component. And that way you don't need to ask people from the manufacturing engineer department to create the worksheet for you and do it. They can build it progressively and improve it if needed. So they take a picture, add step, delete step, or update steps instruction as they build. So I believe it will reinforce a lot the usage of the IoT box or the Work Center control panel, which is a tablet in the work centers, because they can start from nothing. I mean, you just have bill of material, you put the tablet and you say to your people, if you don't have instruction, build them, take a few pictures as you build. And we can start from nothing right away, and we'll start creating the knowledge base of all the steps and the instruction for the future workers. I showed that to a few customers, and they all told me, I want to start right away. Even though I don't have bill of materials and routing, I just put it as it is, and I start building it on the first product, the next products I will build, and that's very useful. We have better project scorecard for the profitability and all the KPIs on your projects. We are thinking about integrating with the e-sign, with the ID card, or It's Me in Belgium, but for all the European countries. It's not necessary. I mean, for the majority of the trade contracts, employment contracts, you don't need that. But for some large customers, like the Big Four, they feel more confident if we implement that. We implemented Stripe Connect. That means now you can. It's already in production, I guess. I think. That means that now you can register on Odoo Online, create your website, and make the payment work right away. Nearly right away in just a few clicks. You don't need to create an account here and there. There is a small wizard on Stripe, and it will set up all the technical stuff for you, and the payments for credit cards and others works right away. So that's very efficient. We have 3 new acquirers: Mercado, Flutterware, and Payfort. Rental will have a front end, so that you can sell rental products on your website, and Studio approvals and small things are arriving in Studio. They also did a lot of things in migration. 500 databases have been migrated from 15 to 15.1. I mean, in the past it was 0 from 14 for 14.1, so it's a huge improvement. 5,000 databases upgraded since we started to do the rolling release. Rolling release is the button that the people have in their interface when they can ask an upgrade on their own. So 5,000 people upgraded. We'll have a magic link to create a version 15, odoo.com/start LTS, long-term support. LTS is for long-term support. And now Odoo SH is integrated with the upgrade service, so you can request an upgrade from the Odoo SH database. You don't need to download the backup and upload it in the platform anymore. All right, that was for the new feature. Yeah, you can, but not. Thank you. Now I have the time to breathe a little bit. So thank the R&D for all the things that are developed, but there are more things to come. We are only at the half of the year, so let's do a quick financial update. The monthly billing is still exploding. As you can see, January and February are low, as you can see too, but it's the same every year. It's because December is magic month for us. Having said that, we are still at 57% growth, which is massive. I mean, as long as we are higher than 50%, it's incredible for the size of the company we have. So it's very good, and we are on target and even more than target. 73% growth over the year, 2021 versus 2020. And 54, I told you 57, 54% growth from January and February. So this year starts very good. Last year was extremely good because of the pandemic and the fact that we recruited a lot. And we expect this year to be closer than 55, maybe 60%. I don't think we'll do 74% again. It's been 10 years since we didn't do that kind of number. From our side, it's just crazy. But even 54, it is crazy. I mean, we are 2,000. It means recruiting 1,000 people and more. In the number of contracts, it grew even faster, 94%. That basically means that we are recruiting a lot of smaller customers, which is a good sign. That's what we want to do. Is we want to make software available for the mass for any SMEs. So having smaller customers is a very good sign. And also because a lot of customers start small and grow after. So we'll probably see an increase in revenue from what we recruited last year this year. The headcount evolves by 71% year over year, so compared to 1 year ago. We are close to 2,100 now. So it starts to be something. But it's still not the 10,000 we would like to do. I mean, it's not true. We don't have a goal like that, but clearly we'll continue to grow as fast for the next years to come.